Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. Okay, so in this class we are going to start off with our Indian labor market during the 2000s, okay, by J.J. Thomas. And if I want to show you in reading, it is under special article and it is at the last only, okay. So the title is India's labor market during the 2000. Okay, so this is a special article paper. We have already done two special articles. First one was recovery of India in the Nehru era, okay, and second one was the growth experiences by Arvind Subramanian. Okay, so now let us start off with this labor market. Okay, so this is also medium topic. Okay, so it will get covered within 2 to 3 classes. Okay, so let's just start it. So before we move on to the main concept, let me just give you a brief of some specific terms which will come again and again. So first term will be LPR. Now what is LPR? LPR is the labor force participation rate. So basically this is the proportion of population that is economically active. Okay. So that is, it is equal to employed, the person who are employed, okay, that will come under this category, okay, and unemployed also come under this category, okay. So why are we taking unemployed people also in this category? Because they are actively seeking for work, okay. So that means they are economically active like the employed one, okay. They are already working and they are seeking for work, but they are not getting the work, okay, but they are actively seeking for it. That's why we are considering both of them. Now since this is a rate, so it has to be divided by something, okay. So it will be divided by total population, okay. So the proportion of total population which is economically active is called as labor force participation rate. Now second will come as WPR. WPR is nothing. We will just, it is the part of LPR, but we are not including the unemployed people, okay. So basically the proportion of population that is employed. So it will be only employed upon total population, okay. Now let me tell you what are unemployed. I already told you, but let me just tell you again. So, unemployed, sorry. So these are the persons who do not work but actively seeking for the job, okay. Like I am seeking for the job but I am not capable of the job requirement or something, but I am actively seeking for it, but I am not getting the job, okay. So that means I will be unemployed, but these people are actively seeking. There are many type of unemployment also. We will discuss it later, okay. Then come OLF. Now what is OLF? OLF is outside labor force. That means people who are not economically active. And if I want to give the example can become of housewife and the person who are too old, or the person who is too young, or students, okay. So they are the people who come under this category of outside the labor force. So we can draw out one tree diagram on this. We have categorized population into two parts. First is labor force and second is outside labor force, okay. And labor force also, there are two categories, whether they will be employed or they will be unemployed. The employed one will be this workforce, okay, and unemployed remains same only. And if I give the example of this one, like too old, housewife, etc, okay. Now comes the fifth term, that is usual status of employment. So basically it takes into account the status of individual for majority of time in a year, okay. So this can be also divided into further part, okay. Like you can calculate for weekly also, current weekly status or current daily status, okay. So you can calculate for any time you want, okay. So now let us start off with our main things, okay. This was the just basic term, so I just told you, okay. So first we are going to start off with our introduction part. Introduction. So this paper actually examines the changes in the labor market, Indian labor market during the 2000s, okay, as it was given in the title itself. So during that period, labor force was going under modernization process. Okay, now let me tell you what is this process. Okay, so the features of this include, first can be like movement of surplus labor from traditional sectors like agriculture or informal sector to modern industrial formal sectors. Okay, now what happened due to this from shift from traditional to modern sector? As a result, the share of absolute size of agriculture sector of labor force falls, and the real wages has risen due to this. Okay, and if I talk about other East Asian countries, so like South Korea, Taiwan, they have reached this turning point in the mid 1960s only. Okay, which we were far behind them. Okay, so what did it does? It shifted from traditional to modern sectors, okay, like industry and all, and traditional means agriculture. So what did it do? Agricultural labor force has reduced and real wages have increased. Okay, so that was the first point. Now the second point is that there was the improvement in skill and education of workforce. Okay, because during that period what happened, more people were going to the schools, and there was improvement in the ratio of the children that who are going to schools. Okay, so due to that also there was a bit decline in the labor force during the 2000 also, because people also started getting skills through education, so that they just don't produce goods itself, but they also produce ideas which will create a multiplier effect in the economy. And what happened due to this? Let me write uh, education of workforce. Okay, so what happened due to this? There was emergence of new industries that demanded the higher labor skills. Okay, due to this, the shift in the traditional to modern. Okay, and also the education of the workforce, that more people are enrolling to the schools. So due to this, there was emergence of the new industry at that time, which demanded the higher skill requirement. Okay, higher skills of labor basically. Okay, and if I want to conclude these 2 points, so the basic findings were that, first, the movement of labor force away from agriculture has begun in India. Second, also noticeable improvement in the education level of the workforce. Okay, however, there was one drawback also. The roadblock is the slow rate of non-agriculture job generation. The rate of acquiring skill is less than the rate of jobs that are generated in the economy, non-agriculture job basically, which requires higher skill of the labor. And also, if I talk about the other East Asian countries regarding to this one education, so they have already started in 1970s. Okay, so we were also behind our competitors of East Asian economies. Okay, so now let's get on further. So that was the first part. Now we are going on to the second part of this article, that is trends in LF absorption. So a low first characteristic will be a low LPR and a low WPR itself. Okay, so these two basic characteristics has been persistent in case of the India's labor market during the 2000s. Okay, so if I tell you about the rate, so India's rate was 56%. Okay, and if I compare to with other East Asian countries, that is from China. Okay, so this is 74%, and if I compare with Brazil, so it was 71%. Okay, so India has a low LPR and WPR rate both. Now the second point comes, the WPR as per the UPSS. So now first of all I'll tell you what is UPSS. So UPSS is usual principal plus subsidiary status. Okay, so if the person has engaged in any economic activity for a period of 30 days or more during the preceding 365 days, a person is considered as employed under this approach. Okay, that means he should be working at least 30 days in a year to be considered as employed. So since 1972 to 1973, there has been a very little change. And if I tell you when did it improve, so WPR improved after 1993-94 only, and that too in case of urban males only. Okay. And if I talk about the female ratio, so there is extremely low female WPR. And if I talk about the 2009-10 data, so only 13.8% of total urban female population was in the workforce. So you can see that how much less is it. So now let's come on to the size, third point, that is the size of workforce in India. So if you want to calculate the size, you can divide the rate with the total population, so you will get the size of the workforce which is in India. Okay, so if I tell you about this data, where it come from, it comes from NSS. Okay, and if I talk about this, it's come from census. Okay, census data. Okay, so there has been a net increase in employment for all person taken together, that is rural male, rural female, urban males and urban females. Okay, over the years. Okay, also the employment growth was slowed down sharply during the 1990s period, and especially if I talk about in the rural areas, it drastically fallen down. And if you want to see the data, you can see the data from the table 2. Okay, we will study about the reason also, that what was the reason behind this in the further classes. So now let us study about the period from 2000 to 2005, because we already saw that in between 1990 to 2000 there was decrease in employment growth. So we will see now what happened during the 2000 to 2005. So during this period, the employment growth revived. Almost 59.5 million new jobs were generated. There was a significant jump in the number of self-employed. However, there was one drawback, that the quality of employment suffered a decline. That means the growth of wages slowed down, wages inequality increases, and average education attainment of person who newly joined the workforce fell down. But if I talk about after that, that is after the period from 2004, so the employment generation declined sharply again. There was only 1.25 million new jobs that were created during that period. Okay, and it occurs at a time when the economic growth shows a distinctive acceleration. Okay, so that was all for this class.